With climbing gyms reopening around the world, many of us have mixed feelings about getting back on the wall. It's been a long 3 months, and lack of access to climbing-specific training has deconditioned our bodies a bit. Like most of you, I'm itching to try hard and pull again, but this moment of transition back to our sport requires a bit of self-control and preparation. This video will go over a short training cycle that is designed to get us back into climbing shape. The aim is to briefly touch on all the aspects of climbing skill and fitness, while minimizing the risk of overtraining. Before we get started, I want to give a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I've known about this company for over 10 years and have recently used their services to help design and build my own website. Creating a website has always seemed tedious, but Squarespace has made it a simple and intuitive experience. If you have a hobby or passion that you're looking to share with the world, check out what Squarespace has to offer. This is the best part about getting back into climbing. Forget all the training, forget all the grades. Here is where we get to climb for fun. In the absence of training, our technique has likely gotten a bit rusty. The first step then is to get reacquainted with climbing movement patterns. Several things to focus on include refining your footwork. Remember to place feet softly and accurately. Hip positioning. Alternate between hip square and hip in to reach for holds. A great way to train for this is to work on crossing with the hands. Flagging and establishing different balance points. Timing and precision of hand contact. Think soft touches. For this week, the focus is on awareness and variety. Work on climbs around 2 grades below your flash level, putting technique as your first priority. Pick climbs that are diverse in style with an emphasis on static, controlled movements. Vary your terrain with vertical, slab, and slightly overhang, staying away from steep climbs for now. Focus on climbing smoothly and with minimal energy expenditure. Endurance isn't simply about staying on the wall longer. It's the process of increasing capillarity in the forearms, conditioning the skin, and improving your ability to recover. All of this helps move up your base threshold for climbing fitness. During this week, we'll focus on high volume, low intensity. Pick climbs that are 3 grades below your flash level, giving emphasis on problems with a high move count and a sustained style of climbing. The aim here is to achieve a mild, steady pump in the forearms for a continuous period of time. Stay on climbs that are vertical or slightly overhang, avoiding stuff like dihedrals where you can achieve hands-free rests. If you're interested in rope climbing, now's the time to get in your burns. A sport climb route will typically have around 40 moves, where boulder problems range between 8 to 12. Find a grade that's similar to your bouldering level for this week and enjoy some laps. Now that our movement is refined and our forearms conditioned, it's time to work on the fingers. A traditional strength training phase includes a lot of fingerboard work, but for us, we'll substitute that with time on the wall. For this week, we'll focus on climbing problems with small holds. Narrow your handhold choices down to crimps, pockets, and pinches. This should cover a variety of finger positions. We'll stay with slightly overhung terrain to properly load the fingers while still giving emphasis to technique. Find problems that have short to medium range movements of a static variety where you can core up and lock off. It's important to note that finger injuries can easily occur with overtraining. Make sure you warm up extensively before jumping on small holds, and back off the moment you sense a potential injury looming. Remember, you can't climb if you're hurt. Power is one of the most fun elements to work on for climbing. It's the ability to recruit a great deal of strength in a short burst of time. Typical power training includes campus board training and limit bouldering. Despite sounding intimidating, Power Week is actually quite chill in terms of workload. The opposite of endurance will now shift over to high intensity, low volume. Our focus will be only on doing a few hard moves, then resting and repeating. This is the time to hop on your projects and spend some quality time working on the crux moves. Pick climbs that are 2 to 3 grades above your flash level and stick to overhung terrain. Work on difficult sit starts and piece together the hard sequences at the bottom of the climb. You'll likely experience a high failure rate here, but that's okay. The aim here isn't necessarily to descend, but to make incremental progress on improbable moves. The last phase of your short training cycle will also be the most strenuous. Power endurance is your ability to perform consecutive hard moves without pumping off the wall. This is a very useful skill for longer sustained boulder problems and for getting through the crux sections of sport climbs. For this phase, we'll stick to slightly overhung to overhung terrain. Pick climbs that are around your flash level that have a sustained style of climbing, ranging from 8 to 10 moves. There are 2 drills you can do to train power endurance. The first is called Red Point Repeat. Pick a climb at your flash level that you have done and have the movements dialed. Climb the problem, come down, then climb the problem again without resting. This will test your ability to execute while fatigued. If your beta is good and you move efficiently, you should be able to repeat the climb. The second drill is called Easy, Medium, Hard. Pick 3 problems, 1 2 grades below your flash level, 1 1 grade below flash, and 1 at flash level. You have a full minute to climb each problem before moving on to the next. If you finish before your minute is up, use the remaining time as rest before starting the next problem. Climb all 3 problems back to back and enjoy the pump. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and welcome back to climbing. I hope I was able to provide some direction towards your journey back to pulling hard and climbing strong. If you're interested in learning more about climbing training programs, check my recommended books in the video description below. I want to once again thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you're looking for a great service to create your own website, head to squarespace.com/movement for climbers and save 10% off your first purchase. Until next time, move better, climb harder.